Hello everyone. In this video we'll talk about the basic inputs and output in Python. Well, what we're going to be talking about today, there is a couple of functions that we will talk about. The first one is print, which is very popular. It's a built-in function that comes with Python. We don't need to do anything in terms of implementation of this function. The only thing we need to do is to know how to use it. And the same thing with the function input. It's another built-in function. When we say built-in functions, that means that these functions are already developed and they come with Python. So we don't need to do anything in terms of implementation. The only thing we need to do is to use them right. Okay, and then we're going to see some special characters in this video. All right, let's talk about first the input. What is the input function going to do? What the input function is going to do is basically it's going to output data to a standard output device. In our example, is going to be the screen. Okay, so you can basically output a message, you can output the value of a variable, you can output a file, or whatever you want to output to the screen. Here we have multiple examples over here, and we're going to go through these examples together using idle. Okay, so the first example is I'm going to use idle right now. So the first example is going to be basically a simple one. As you see over here, what the print required to have, right after you type print, you have parentheses, and inside that parentheses, if you want to print a message or a string, you have to put it between two quotation marks, either single quotation marks or two double quotation marks. You cannot mix and match between them. Okay, so we can say, for example, I'm going to put it between two quotation marks, and here I can print whatever I want to say. For example, hello you. And then if I hit return, Python is gonna read that function, find out this is the print function, and knows that if it's a print function, I have to print what's in between, or I have to print the string in between the parentheses. That is another example over here. What if I want to print a value? Okay, so let's assume we have a variable calls a, and a equal to 5. Okay, and now I'm going to print a message to say the value of a is, how can I print the value of a, which is 5? In this case, after you put the string that you have, you put a comma and then put your variable name. In this example, my variable name is a. So if I hit return, it's going to show me the message. The value of a is 5. Okay, what if I do something like this? For example, print, and then I have a string between two quotation marks and say the string is hi, for example. And I'm going to say multiply the string 10 times. What is going to be? It's going to print hi 10 times. Okay. What if I want to print multiple print statements, but these print statements, I want them to be in the same line? Well, after you type the string that you want, just like in this example, for example, I'm going to say hello, then I will have a comma, and then I have to type end equal. This is a Python word, end. I'm going to say it's equal to, between quotation mark, just one space. Okay, and the second print statement is going to display it in the same line as the first example, as the first print statement. I want you to try this one by your own. We're going to see a lot of these examples later on. Okay, what if I want to print two strings? Can I have another thing besides the comma? Yes, we can see the plus. We can have two strings added together, and we're going to see an examples like that. But let's just see the simple form of the print statement. Now let's go to the other built-in function, which is the input built-in function. The input built-in function is very important function actually, and we're going to use it a lot. Okay, it's very similar in terms of the way it's very similar in terms of the use, but actually the result of it's different. It's the function that will allow us to get some variable or get some values from the user and allow the user to input something to your program. Okay, as you can tell from the name of it, input. Okay, so how this one works? Well, it works that, again, it's different than the print. Print is going to display. This one, the input function, is going to display a message and wait for the user to type in something. In this example, type in the first name. What is going to happen after the user type in the first name? This function is going to assign the value that is entered by the user to the variable first that we have here, to the variable first. So first is going to hold whatever value entered by the user. Okay, let me go back again and show you over here. So let's say, for example, first, and here just an example to show you. I'm going to say input, and between parentheses, what I'm going to tell the user to input what? I'm going to tell the user input or enter first name. So I'm telling the user right now, enter a first name. Okay, I want you to pay attention to the way I typed it over here. Okay, so take a look over here, input the first name, and then hit return. What is going to happen? The Python is going to ask right now, please enter the first name. Okay, take a look over here. You see the cursor it's pointing at right now? It's right after the colon. Do not add a space, because what you're doing right now, if you add a space, the space that you add by doing something like this is going to be counted the first character of the name of the person. So do not do that. If you want to fix this issue, you have to go back again to this string that you have, and you have to add the space over here. Okay, so we're going to fix it later, but let's go over here, say the name is Max. Okay, so what happened? Well, technically Python took the name Max based on what his input statement is doing, and then put it in the first. Let me say print first. Okay, show me what is inside the first. Print first. Here you go. It is Max. Okay, let me do the same here. I'm going to repeat this one with an error. And I want you guys to pay attention, because this is one of the common problems or common errors that students they do at the beginning. So I'm going to repeat the same statement over here, and I'm going to say print first name, but I saw it like it's really right next to the colon. So by mistake, I just select, here you go. The first name is Jack, for example. Okay, so let me go ahead first, print first. Did you notice over here? Jack is started with an empty character. So be careful with that. Another thing when it comes to input statement or input function, everything that you input from the user is going to be counted as a string, even if you input a number. So let's say, for example, age. Okay, and I'm going to say input. I'm using 2 quotation marks, that's fine. Enter your age. Okay, enter your age, and now I'm getting better, so I'm added the space over here. So what's going to happen, look at that, it's gave me the space already here. So I'm going to say, for example, 30. Take a look over here when I say print age. Okay, print age is printed to me, I see it as 30, but in reality it's a string at this point. It is not an integer. So if I say, for example, age plus 1, let me see, that should be 31. Is that correct? Let's see over here what happened. It gave me an error. It told me that this is a type error, can only concatenate string to a string, because one of them is integer, which is this number, and the age is a string. So I need to fix that. We're going to see that later. Okay, let's go ahead and continue over here.